Yeah, this video proved Lil Durk had paid Lil Tim to kill King Von, man.
Like I said.
Now, before I start this video, I want you to get your thoinkies. I want you to get your grappa leaf. I want you to scroll it up because this is gonna be some shit. Okay? Now, this video is 2 years old. Y'all know that King Von and Durk situation, all that. Now, see, I didn't know y'all been saying this, but now, y'all saying that Lil Durk set up King Von to get killed. I didn't even think that was possible. Apparently, this video 2 years ago, they was talking about it, and I guess the evidence that was, I don't know. We just gonna, you feel it? We gonna dissect. Now, this is supposed to be another clip, okay? This is supposed to be a whole nother clip that's different from like the surveillance footage we seen of the night that King Von died and the shooting and all that's going on. So this is supposed to be a clip, and the title of this video say this is supposed to prove that it was a setup. So this one look crazy. I don't know.
Ladies and gentlemen, George is cooking up the perfect multi-bet. He'll hope things turn out perfectly. Or not. You see, if George's multi-bets were to go pear-shaped, then he can still walk away a winner with Bet Saver from Betway. A world first, a revolution, a revelation, a roaring masterpiece of betting brilliance. Not just the best, the gold.
Come on, let's go.
Pulled up, jumping out the car. They knew whatever they was going on. Yeah, they was set up before they got down. Yeah, they was set up before they got down.
Now, did y'all hear that, right? Two key things that man said.
What'd he say?
He said, quote,
I heard it.
These MFs just pulled up, jumping out the car, shooting. And then the next thing he said was, quote, they knew whatever they was going on, they set up before they got down here. Once again, they set up before they got down here.
Set up for what?
Now, this is coming from someone that was literally on the scene and seen everything before Von got there and after Von got there. He's seen everything play out. And his statements put everything into perspective because to this day, no one could tell us why they were even at that hookah lounge. Nobody. And they know that they can't tell us that Von wanted to go to a damn hookah lounge.
Right, yeah. I didn't even know it was a hookah lounge. I never knew. I thought it was just like a club after party. I never knew it was a hookah lounge. See, that's where it gets scary. Von, he don't strike me as the person that's pulling up with 100 of his street niggas from O-Block to a hookah lounge.
But he celebrated his album release, which just wouldn't make sense. Then it would contradict everything 100K Track said because he said Von would sleep. So if Von would sleep, then why would he want to go to a hookah lounge afterwards?
Right.
Because he also described that Von just wasn't himself. So what would give him the energy, you know, and everything to just go to a hookah lounge in Atlanta? You know, then I hate to reiterate everything we've already went over when it comes to the red flags in this whole situation. Yeah. So y'all could just search the channel for all the vids we did covering this story already. But like I always stated, it makes no sense how they claim Von was sleeping. I
swear to God, I never knew that this was even a thought. Like, this is mind-boggling to me.
First place, like Track said, then someone woke him.
I want to put y'all on to some of the easiest money you'll ever make in your life. Freecash.com is a website that allows you to literally get paid and start getting that bag. You did?
Up to let him know that Quando was outside.
Right.
Now, first off, who was that person? Because he is the sole reason Von isn't here today. Now, we do all got our own assumptions. Some say it was Track that woke him up. Some say Boss Top. Some say Muwap. It's like, you know, it's all type of stories, but none of them was 100% confirmed.
This is what happened, yeah.
All right? But on another note, how ironic that Quando Rondo was literally sitting in front of a hookah lounge like he's just some average regular person just kicking it, talking from outside the window of the car. No fans walked over and to really run and talk to him, no nothing.
Type of dude,
and not to mention, if they was there first, you mean to tell me nobody noticed Quando Rondo clearly in front of the hookah lounge when they first pulled up? 100K track says that security went in first to check everything, and that's their regular protocol. Right. So you mean to tell me security didn't see or know that Quando and his peoples was inside or outside of the hookah lounge?
Right.
Nobody seen Quando, right? So let's jump back to when he said that there was.
My thing is, if the superstar is in the car sleep, how did we get to the hookah lounge? You see what I'm saying? If we just left the album release party and the superstar rapper is in the car sleep, how do we get from album release party to hookah lounge? How do we get there? And this nigga sleep. Who gave the okay, like this where we going now? You see what I'm saying?
It was a car that pulled up and just started shooting, because we were never aware about a car pulling up and shooting at all. Where did the car come from? And the next question is, who was in that car? Because all we heard was that officers were shooting, which are the ones that shot Slutty and Louie, and then Lil Tim was the person that shot Vaughn, right?
Right.
So now the next question is, where did the car come from? Who was in the car? And if y'all remember, the officers at the scene was in question too, because some say that they was the ones that was started shooting first, and they shot the most. Then you got to wonder, if Lil Tim supposedly was the first one to shoot a weapon, why wasn't he hit as much times as Vaughn?
Right.
How come everybody else but him was hit as much times as they was hit, and he was the one with the weapon who quote unquote fired first?
Yeah, and to think about it, and like, it's really scary because and I don't know if I should be even watching, because I don't want to start thinking this, man, this is crazy. But how does Little Tim leave that situation alive? This man, King Von, it was 157 niggas with him.
Right.
Literally. Go look at the video, bro. It was like at least 50 of them, bro. 50 of them. Quando and them was just in, it was probably 5 or 6 of them just in the car. How does Lil Tim leave that area alive? How is that possible? In Atlanta, Georgia, I know somebody with Vaughn had a gun. Police. You know what I'm saying? Even if y'all don't, we don't, like, you just shot my mans, we finna stomp you out, right? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, something you would think. How did he leave that? How did he leave that scene with just a few little shots?
Crazy.
I will never out.
He left that situation with a diaper, with a shit bag. What do they call it? Yeah, that's all.
Never understand.
How is it that Slutty lost his life and Lil Tim didn't get hit at all? He got a little leg hit.
No, he got hit in the stomach.
But it doesn't make sense. But that's because, like we've been saying, it was all a setup. Those cops, them quote-unquote cops, knew that Slutty and Louie had to get shot and distracted, because if not, they would have been the ones shooting for Vaughn. So they had to get taken out first in order for everything to unfold according to plan. Because think about it, why else would the cops need to shoot them that many times?
Right.
Then if you listen to what the bystander who witnessed everything said, he said that one individual was just shooting the other individual and the other was shooting back, but whoever was shooting him from over there was hitting him because he seen his body jerked.
Look, I was sitting right here looking at it. Then there was one right here. He had a gun in his hand. Look, he was shooting back. But that was shooting at him, whoever was shooting at him, was hitting. Because I seen his body just, he fell. He blew. I'm like, oh, shit. That's when he went every bullet he shot at. Yeah.
Right.
So whoever that was, that shooting.
So it's as if Slutty or
let's
Louie
go watch that full video.
on the Instagram. I wasn't going to make another video concerning, King Von and Lil Durk and that whole situation. We made a gang of videos about it a long time ago when
Damn. Let's go.
everybody, labeled us conspiracy theorists and whatever.
Knew this was a conspiracy.
Now it seems like everybody making U-turns.
Right.
Shout out to CSP. We're not referring to him. We just talking about everybody in general, that's actually seeing things that's coming out. Say was dropped. When it just came out not too long ago, that Durk, they say allegedly the charges with him and King Von and Bezu was dropped.
Right.
They're saying she said that if King Von was alive, he'll be indicted for it. So if your boy Lil Durk would have been free of the charges, as well as Bezu, Hella Bands, and anybody else that was involved, and Von would have been the only one indicted, then what does that tell y'all? You know, but there's still people that chose to not believe what's really going on. I'm sure 9 times out of 10 it's a lot of fans that just don't want to believe the obvious.
Want to believe it,
right?
It's obvious. Where's obvious?
And the one thing that always, what they say, grind my gears. The one thing that grind my gears, or it don't get to me, but I just look at it funny. A lot of people are like, oh, you ain't from Chicago. Well, guess what? CSP is actually from Chicago. And the thing about it is, a lot of people know what's going on. I mean, it's clear as day, but people don't want to say anything because they have ties to certain and the thing about it is, a lot of people know what's going on. I mean, it's clear as day, but people don't want to say anything because they have ties to certain somebodies. You know, it just is what it is.
Yeah.
But that's why I said shout out to CSP, because he's actually from Chicago and he's saying this. So what are y'all gonna say about him? What are y'all gonna say to him? Oh, he's not from Chicago. He's not from the trenches. He don't know such and such.
You don't gotta.
You know,
from the trenches.
That's the thing that we get.
Oh my God.
All the time. You're not from Chicago, but it doesn't take being from Chicago to point out common sense.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So this is like a recap. Because, you know, if you want, you go on the channel, you can already see a bunch of videos with us covering it, pretty much already saying exactly what CSP said, and just regular things in general.
Right.
Now, the first thing that CSP, well, one of the things that CSP
I don't know who
pointed
CSP
out,
is, though.
He said, dudes woke King Von up while he was in the car, you know, and said that Quando Rondo was outside.
Now,
first and foremost,
that's an interesting point, because you never know what he said when whoever woke him up and said, hey, they go them niggas. Whoever said, you never really know what they said for real. So that's the only little pocket where I could see, like, okay, it might be some deeper going on.
If these guys supposed to be his protection, Von is the bag. Why wake Von up to go fight a fight and y'all all there?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Not to mention, we already know the 100K track, his stories got so much holes in it. We find out that he had some type of affiliation with the authorities. That's a whole nother story. So I'm gonna just nip that in the bud, right?
Right.
Also, when it comes to Durk and Von not having such a good relationship before Von died, a lot of people don't want to believe that. But it's a lot of things pointing to that fact. You know, somebody mentioned in our comments on Instagram, and if y'all not following us on Instagram, make sure y'all do so now, at HookahAnonymous_. Somebody pointed out, like, yo, y'all remember when Boss Top, you know, was on FaceTime with Von, and then he put the camera and it went to Durk, and once Von seen it, he pretty much pushed the camera away. Come on, that's clear as day.
I ain't never seen
that's pretty much clear as day, because if
what do you say?
You know, somebody mentioned in our comments on Instagram, and if y'all not following us on Instagram, make sure y'all do so now, at HookahAnonymous_. Somebody pointed out, like, yo, y'all remember when Boss Top, you know, was on FaceTime with Von, and then he put the camera and it went to Durk, and once Von seen it, he pretty much pushed the camera away. Come on, that's clear as day.
I ain't never seen
that's pretty much clear as day, because if we friends and we cool, why do that?
Right.
You know, not so.
But I don't think they were supposed to be talking, though. They wasn't supposed to, because they had a case. They had the like the attempt murder case in Atlanta or whatever. So they wasn't supposed to be in communication with each other. So he might have did it because of that.
Also mentioned that Bezu was involved in that case, right? We all know that they say Von and Durk couldn't be around each other because of that case.
Right.
But Bezu and Durk was always around each other. And it's funny because somebody also pointed out, and I didn't even peep it myself, so y'all let me know if this is actually a fact or not. But they were saying how if you pay attention to the whole case, Von wasn't, you know, he experienced different treatment than Durk in that whole situation. You know, they came and got Von for that case.
Right.
Durk was able to sit here and go turn himself in, make songs.
I ain't gonna do that now. I'm just playing, you feel me? Cause I would have came and got Von too. He got murders on this, like, you know what I'm saying though? So it's like, That's different.
But they came and got Vaughn and treated him like a real criminal.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, like I said, Durk is sitting there making songs, turning himself in. He got the public watching him. He got the media following him, his lawyer, the whole 9 yards. So what does that tell you? Was they getting fair treatment or not?
Probably not, but that's because of the
now.
I think that's
also, when it comes
though.
to the whole snitching song that Vaughn made, when he was saying, I don't know why he told, people believe it was about everybody except Lil Durk. Now CSP pointed out that Big A and all them other guys who they were saying he was referring to, they didn't have old block chains. And when you think about it, right, you go back and you really look at, and this is why I like going back, because I think a lot of things happen where we tend to forget because this world is going so fast paced at this day and age that we forget things. We forget little context clues and everything. But anyway, remember that video when Vaughn and Durk was in court and you seen how Vaughn was reacting to Durk? Does that look like somebody that's happy with their co-defendant? And I'm not talking.
I don't know. You can't read too much into that either, though. Like, they sit there fighting an attempted murder charge. Like, I ain't what I'm supposed to be smiling at them. Like, you know, it do look crazy, but
about anybody that's
like that.
Never been through the system.
Right now, I'm not hearing nothing that.
solidifies. Nothing is solidifying that. You feel me? It's all conspiracy. Like, it's all feels like a reach. Everything looks like a reach. Sounds like a reach.
That sways, that make it seem like, okay, for sure he did it. Like, I don't hear nothing like that. But I don't necessarily hear nothing that's like I don't think it's impossible at all. I really think that it could be. Like, I don't want to rule it out, but I don't want to sit up here and say like it's for sure. Cause I ain't hearing nothing like with the T Grizzly shit on there. That's a little weird. You know what I'm saying?
In them courtrooms, because y'all wouldn't understand. But some of y'all would, but this is mostly for the people that have been in that situation. When you watch Vaughn's face and how he reacted to Durk, does that look like somebody that's happy with their co-defendant? Does that look like somebody that knows that their co-defendant is gonna hold it down?
Yeah.
No. And even Durk's body language. Does that look like somebody that's in cahoots or cool with their co-defendant? No. You know, so I think it's a lot of signs that points towards somebody. I ain't gonna say names, but we just gonna keep it real bland to say somebody is telling or told.
Right.
You know, E-Dog spoke on it. Your boy Bezu, he done got songs with saying that, oh, dude I grew up with told and didn't keep it solid. Lil Reese got songs talking about dude I grew up with told. And all these dudes got these lyrics and stuff about somebody telling. Who are they referring to? Mimo. You know, who are they referring to? Nobody wants to flat out and say it because, you know, this man is who he is.
Right.
But forget what they say. We're going to talk about the DA. The DA said in the article that if Vaughn was alive, he'll be indicted for the murder. Plain and simple. So forget everything that we talked about, right? Forget everything. Forget you thinking that somebody told. Forget you thinking that it was this person. Forget everything. The DA said in an article that if Vaughn was alive, right, he'll be indicted. So even if you don't want to admit that somebody told, right, it's clear as day
somebody
that
had to tell.
Somebody told.
Yeah.
Once again, if you ever been in that situation, you know exactly what's going on. Yeah. I know anybody that's been, you know, in the streets or
that part sound a little spooky to me. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? That part it sound a little iffy.
So I don't try to sit here and differentiate or categorize anybody, but it's easier to speak to people that have been through the situation because they know exactly what's going on. They know the terminology of the courts. You know, rather than somebody that never been through something like that.
Right.
When you hear that Vaughn would have been indicted if he was still alive, but everybody else got the charges dropped, what does that tell you?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So
but it don't necessarily mean somebody snitching though. They could have just got some evidence that, you know what I'm saying? Then they knew, or sometimes the police just be wanting to get one person, like, you know. But
I don't know. At the end of the day, I just wanted to make this video because I feel that CSP coming out as a Chicago blogger, YouTuber, I guess you guys will pay attention a little more. You know, it brings a little more clarity to the situation. So now, yeah, what are y'all gonna say to him? You know, what are you gonna say to somebody that's actually out there, to somebody that actually feels the same way? What are y'all gonna say? He's a conspiracy theorist now? Them same fans that liked him for him and the content he was dropping prior to this,
yeah,
don't switch up and call him a conspiracy theorist now.
yeah, I feel you.
You know, so, you know, it is what it is. Shout out to CSP, man. Y'all jump in the comments, let me know how you feel. Don't forget to like.
I don't know. I thought I was gonna get more from this video though. I thought it was gonna be more like real, like, you know, but
My work is easy because I use ClickUp. Here's how I keep track of all.
Yeah, nothing was solid. Everything was very conspiracy. It was very conspiracy based. Like, they ain't say nothing that directly pointed out that this nigga, you feel me, they got set up and stuff like that. Hell yeah. Hey, like, comment, subscribe, wrote the family.